Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's Regit, and it's not actually morning at all. I was going to say for the first time, it's the morning, but it's actually still the afternoon. Anyway, happy Christmas to you all. It's 1st of December now, which means that Christmas has started. We can put the Christmas songs on, we can be all Christmassy. Better make the most of it before Christmas is all over and it goes back to being very sad. Today, it appears that we have another of those cyclone stages, the returning ones. This one is called Wrath of the Divine, which I read a little bit wrongly the first time I saw it. For those of you who've been to recent streams, I thought it read Wrath of D Live, which is quite ironic because nobody seems to like the website anyway. And once we've sourced enough lemons, whatever that means, we're going to be getting off it sharpish. See recent stream to know what on earth I'm talking about, if you like. So Wrath of the Divine starts with Wrath of a-cyclone. Insane. Energy 200 and a guaranteed chance to pick up 1,000,000 XP, which sounds very exciting, but probably isn't that much. We start off with the aforementioned level and conditions, of course. Only rare. Alrighty then. Okay, another new restriction. I like the idea of that. Let's park myself over to a slot that I'm not particularly using. That one was for the last cyclone stage. I'm going to put something in there. Scrolling past these, I'm realising that it's actually especially difficult because angel enemies ignore anti-floating type, so the cyclone is purely an angel enemy, which makes things a lot more difficult. The actual units that will have an effect are now far fewer. Now, something like Ramen, I wonder whether that's actually going to be any good against a cyclone. Probably not, unless it's a very weak one, but equally, it will be a meat shield for something else, angel enemy related especially. This sort of other stuff, Thaumaturge Cat is a nice generalist unit. Let's replace an Uber with that. Weed Whacker, not unless there are zombies. Rover is probably, honestly, a solid bet for a meat shield these days. Rampage Cats, not too sure about using them. Prisoner Cat, that has a nice range to it, fair enough. There we go, Cat's Gift, that's probably going to be very useful. So Ram, a nice cheap meat shield for us, good stuff. Delivery Cat, that's more what we need. Now we can start to be a little bit more picky. Possibly not Eggy Cat. I'm thinking that might not be the best idea. A Power Pro unit, you know, that is not a bad idea. I mean, I could use that. I don't see why I couldn't use that. I think I might swap out Rover because we're not really anti-alien focused with this one. Better Kuma. Need I say more? My only remaining worry is to whether Paris or Cyborg Cat, I'm gonna have enough monies to actually put out a lot of them. I don't know because I haven't been into the level yet, and if I wouldn't have enough money, Zamboni would be a much more sensible bet. But Zamboni is going to get torn apart if it's anywhere near the cyclone, so I will plump for Cyborg and hope we have plenty enough monies to actually use it. So let's go into it without any further ado. What do you have for us, you angelic wonder, as you return in amongst the clouds? Well, a nice start to the level, which is all nice and calm and peaceful. I'll take the opportunity to upgrade my worker cat a little bit. And there's a Gabriel Doge. Well, I have my Ramen, my boosted, in fact, Ramen, as some people call it, and that's going to be absolutely fine for one Gabriel Doge. In fact, it might be too strong for one Gabriel Doge. What else is there? There's a hippo. Okay, so that's going to stop us in our tracks, and all this stuff is going to very nicely facilitate a max worker cat, which is really all I can ask for at this point. Amazing that this is the same one Ramen still, making absolute oatmeal biscuit of these enemies. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. Absolute mincemeat. Mincemeat, that's the one. Even more Christmassy. Mince pies, don't like them. Don't understand mincemeat. But anyway, absolute oat biscuit. I'm going to say that from now on. So now this one Ramen approaches the base and triggers the Angel Cyclone, in fact, all by itself. And there's the Angel fanboy with its typical warning. Well, fair enough. And for the first time in forever, a Power Pro unit. Look at that. Right, swarm of Gabriel Doges. Let's slow all of them down, otherwise they're going to overrun us ridiculously. And with the amount of enemies like this, I think monies are not going to be an issue. So it looks like we made the right choice there. Thank you, Ponos, for all your Gabriel Doges. Right, I'm just going to meat shield as much as I can. And with all the freezing and the knockbacking and the procking generally, this should be a walk in the angelic park. Unless something like that happens and Cyclone starts to make progress. But we've given it a little bit of a knockback. We've given it a knockback again. And as long as we're not incredibly unlucky, I think this is going to be really quite easy. One issue might perhaps be the deploy limit, which we now seem to be hitting. So I'm going to have to be a bit more careful about the units I'm putting out. Because as we know, the deploy limit from, I believe, the last a-cyclone. When you hit it and your units die, so you shouldn't have hit it, the game takes quite a long while to realise that you've not hit it, and that could put you in jeopardy. But it hasn't this time. We've succeeded. We got through Wrath of a-cyclone Insane really, really easily. That was very kind of nice and sublime and enjoyable. And now for the traditional deadly one. Well, not quite now. I'm going to spend at least 140 energy, so that gives us 2 tries. But I'm thinking, will I be intelligent enough to be fairly sure that I can get this done in one run? Or am I likely to mess it up? Well, I have a whole heap of anti-angel, I'm fairly sure. If I go in my filter and go angel, and wow, there's so many abilities. There's a scroll bar now. What's that? Oh, they're talents. Back to the point, anyway, I have loads of anti-angel. Some of them, I mean, are general units, but the amount of Ubers that are anti-angel is quite something. I have quite a lot of the... Oh, that's a spoiler. I mean, here's the thing, really. I could even bring in things like Subaru. We got so many of these units. Sarukani. It's angels and zombies. Oh, I did not remember that. Well, there you go. Ultima Galaxy Cosmo can make a return. Gamirion, if we so felt like that. I think Jizo's Mega Castle is a shoo-in. And we're just going to have a huge amount of Ubers here already. We could put in the best Uber ever, Full Bloom Kenshin. I think we are at absolutely no shortage of Ubers and stuff like that to be using there. Yeah, I'm gonna dedicate it to one run. Hopefully I don't regret it. Now, given that in the last set of cyclones and returning and pretty much all of them, there's been some kind of caveat to the second level in which a different type of enemy appears, I'm not going to take as many risks as before now. I'm going to bring in Ultraland and the Ultraman, destroyer of much and many and different types of enemies. I've got rid of some of the Ubers, and I'm debating as to whether I should get rid of any more. I'm keeping Eva 00 in case there are waves again. I've got my 2 knockbackers, a freezer, and a loads of damager, which with a multi-hit, Mr. Jizo Castle also acts as a knockbacker. So I think I will just dedicate the remaining slot to another meat shield. I think would probably be sensible, and I'd say that that would do it. I mean, if there's a lot of intermediate enemies that aren't going to facilitate us getting the Ubers, or very few enemies at all, this strat isn't going to work. So it's gonna be a shot in the dark, but let's see where our shot lands. A Squire L at the start, that's fair enough. I'm gonna put out my weakest unit for that, a Manic Mohawk, and there's another one. So we're starting off with at least some enemies. Gonna put out a Manic Eraser, because there's more than you would have thought. Like a mini kind of Alaska to do a little bit of a callback there. Working upgrades, I think, are in order. There's a Barbar. Oh, and there is an immediate Cyclone, right? Well, that's not quite as good, but we are gonna be in the range of some Ubery, and yet there we go. Normal type enemies seem to be the other type. We don't have Shadow Gal with us, but we do at the very least have Ultraland the Ultraman, which we're not using because I'm going to use Jizo's Mega Castle with his multi-hit, which should hopefully still act as plenty of damage against anything, really. I am going to slow them, keep them where they are, and try and get some other unit in my higgledy-piggledy strat. Please do a knockback. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I think I need to give that another go. Right, no working upgrades this time. I just don't need to do that. I'm going to start off with this boy here, and then this boy here, and then they should take care of those Squire Elves just about fine. With the rest of the monies, I'm going to save up for, this time, Ultraland the Ultraman would probably be the most sensible bet here. Okay, after all that, I did need one working upgrade, so that's another thing I can improve on if we need to try this again. But it is Ultraland the Ultraman time. Let's deal with that Rain D, and hopefully that within itself will give us enough monies for something else, which it will, I think, if we save up a little bit more to 5-4, slow all these down before they hit Ultraman, which was very close to them doing. Now we have Springtime Kenshin, and nothing in the world can stop us because it has that incredible knockback, as does Ultraland the Ultraman. I'm just going to continue meat shielding with this higgledy-piggledy layout with a Ramen with much larger recharge time in the middle of it. Not quite sure why I did that. And on the very edge of failure, we are going to succeed in knockback every... Oh, for goodness say. I couldn't even get to say every time before it messed up. There's another cyclone and loads of rain Ds as well. Oh, get me the 0-0. It's resistant to Angel, but how useful will that be when a cyclone obliterates everything in a split second? Ultraman, the Ultralan, is the wrong way round and also dead. I've got my slow beam out. We've got a little bit of knockback, so perhaps a tiny little bit of hope in our darkest hour here. But there's a camel. Who's heard of that? Flipping heck, I haven't seen that in ages and everything has gone to pot there. It's worth another try because, as I said, I messed up a little bit this run and it can be improved, but this is a significant step up in difficulty. But I am ready. Worker Cat upgrade 1 immediately, and then this boy and this boy as per before, and then perhaps one more Manica Razor. That should be fine. I'm going to go to level 3 with my Worker Cat and then save up from there and get Ultralan the Ultraman as before. That was fine, but I think after that, perhaps for a greater area of effect, it might be useful to do Super Galaxy Cosmo. I don't know. We're going to have to see about that. Here's the Rain D. We need to let that run in front of the Cyclone, otherwise we're going to have double trouble and we really don't need that. Rain D walks up quickly enough, luckily, for Ultralan the Ultraman to get a shot on him, and I'm going to economize my meat shields as best I can and try and get Super Ultra Ultima, my boy. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button. All said, with Ultralan the Ultraman, this could still work. You know, if I put out all my meat shields and try my very best, maybe we have a chance. I doubt it. Jizo's great, but he's principally anti-angel, and yeah, that's not going to stop the onslaught there. I'm going to try again, but get this, I'm going to try and do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to keep it to a level 2 Worker Cat this time. I think that's more sensible. It's just that we hit the cap last time, so I don't need to do any more upgrades and spend any more of my precious monies on it, because it's a timer cyclone, not a base cyclone. We're going to be hitting the end of the monies very soon, so I will get my Ultralan now and put some meat shielding out in front of it, because he's a very weak boy. So, keep my meat shields out there, keep him protect, and this time the Rain D is very close to the cyclone, which is worrying. Oh, we still got the hit in, that's good. I didn't think we would. I think we were a little too far away. Need to keep my meat shielding up, slow them down, otherwise we're a bit stuck. Now actually got Ultimate Galaxy Cosmo. Really close to the meat shielding. Ultraman, I don't know. Okay, well that's good, isn't it? You just do nothing. Oh, I don't even know. This is becoming quite methodical now. I know what I'm doing at least at the very start, and then it all falls apart. Right, these 3, they'll do. One more working upgrade then perhaps, and I will keep it at that. Maybe 3 is the right level to be at. Why did we have Rain D trouble before? Well, I guess that was because I put the Ultralan out a little bit too early. And I need him to be the Ultraman. Today, he's been the Ultra not entirely useful, but slightly more useful than the other people man. But we need him this time to come out in force and be absolutely fantastic. Right, we got these enemies to our own little bit, and this time Ultralan misses. Well, there's always got to be an issue whichever run you're in, and so that puts us in inherent and huge danger, but hopefully Ultralan can get all of these on a mass. I'll let them get close, then slow all of them, so hopefully Ultralan will take a nice juicy shot on all of them. I kind of need you to do it now, like really now, and I've spawned my Springtime Kenshin. Didn't intend to do that, but it was on the first row, I guess, and that just happened in the blind panic of Ultralan not really taking his shot. The constant knockback is definitely good, but doesn't look like it will be enough. Ultralan is dead. I mean, isn't he always? And I didn't even get a chance to pause. That is an outright defeat. Uber carry is not the problem. The problem is Uber reliance. All told, I've spent a long time deliberating over what to change this strat to, because I'm a little bit stuck. I've got loads of meat shields this time because it's evidently what we need. I've got my boy Cyberpunk. He'll probably be good for if we ever get to that stage of the Camel ever again. We've also got Ultralan. He was alright. And I've increased the knockbacking from just Full Bloom Kenshin to Dioramas as well, because that was good. That was working for us. And we got Shadow Gawain for hopefully a little more sure dealing with the Rain D. So, I think with this amount of meat shields, I'm just going to CPU it, which means I need a max Worker Cat. So does that mean I need a Rich Cat? Arguably, possibly, but we could try and do it without. CPU on most certainly then, and Rich Cat, I mean, I can definitely afford to use Rich Cat, but from a pridefulness point of view, do I need Rich Cat? Oh, we're gonna go without it. You know what? We're gonna go without it. Mistake. Bam, 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 Pizza Man. Right, you go for it, except we don't even have Pizza Cat, so I'm not sure why I said that. I've done one too many working upgrades, possibly, arguably. CPU definitely turned that off, and the Gato Amigo might actually be causing some trouble, given it's a lot slower than the others. I didn't really think about that. I just thought about its ability to occasionally knock back stuff, which makes it a pretty good meat shield. But I think we're going to be alright. The stuff's going to come out in front of the Angelic Cyclone, and here is our chance now to bring out Shadow Gal. It hasn't hit the rain D. Oh, this always happens, and I've just been thinking about the Worker Cat. I sort of want to be doing that because I want to be upgrading it, want to get it to max. Cyberpunk briefly held the Angelic Cyclone in place there, but of course that hasn't worked, and it's all gone to pot almost immediately. I mean, that was really quick. Honestly, I think the same start as before would be sensible, because that worked. Ultraland the Ultraman was fine. Our Springtime Kenshin was absolutely fantastic, as it always is. That's not the issue, it's just what comes after that. So I'm gonna save up accordingly for my Springtime Kenshin. And of course, Ultraland misses the Rain D. How many times am I gonna use that phrase today? Slow Beam helping us once again there. Definitely get out my Springtime Kenshin. You know, a freeze anytime now would be great. Ultraland, thank you very much. Soon would be an excellent time as well to get myself Shadow Gal, because there's a lot of normal type enemies and not a lot between us and them, and we're already almost in the shtuk. Ultraland attack right now will be useful. You only just about saved yourself there, and I tell you what, we're really probably not going to have enough time to get Shadow Gal. Shadow Gal, Shadow Gal. No, 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 and no. Once again, I don't really have much faith in this working out, but what else can I do? I've dug my grave, I've got to sit in it and contemplate why on earth I did that. Meat shields, Ultraland the Ultraman. Save up for Springtime Bloomin' Kenshin. Probably slow all of them, and then we can get the unit out that we need. Knock them back ever so briefly, putting us in a state of complete worry. And this time, I'm just going to put out all the meat shields. You know what that means? It probably means that we're never going to actually get enough monies to afford anything else unless we're killing a load of stuff. And actually, it doesn't really look like it's having that much of a benefit. I thought it would protect us a whole lot better, but it really doesn't seem to be doing that. We need some kind of rain D killing miracle here, otherwise we're going to be in the shtuk with absolutely no monies whatsoever. And without that rich cat that I really should have put on, we can't be using the CPU either, otherwise it's probably just going to be saving up for workout upgrades and being an even more useless version of myself. Ultraland is finally getting a little bit of his act together though, so I'm going to use my slow beam when they get impractically close like that. And as you can see, with all of these meat shields being put out, yes, we've lasted a bit longer. Are we making any monies? No, we're actually making a net loss every time we put out our meat shields, so we need to be killing loads of stuff. We killed some stuff there, but not enough stuff, and that means that we're just going to be making losses again until we kill loads of stuff again and have a chance to get something like Shadow Gal or dioramas or whatever. Something that we currently don't have enough monies for, and that is an absolute destruction of all my units there. This is really sad. Alexa can't even cover it at this point. What's possibly the remedy to losing monies every time you put out your meat shielding? Having a higher level worker cat. Well, arguably, I'm testing that out at the moment. But it's my best bet, and I've just got to try and upgrade this as much as possible. Does it mean that we might actually have absolutely no chance to get out Ultraland the Ultraman? Well, yeah, quite possibly. It certainly looks like that, doesn't it? Now, we're in the sticky situation of desperately needing ourselves a Springtime Kenshin. I'm going to slow all of them, but although it's maxed, it's not going to last forever. In fact, quite the opposite of forever, a short amount of time, and before anything can even barely happen, Ultraland is dead again. One Jiangshi, perhaps, even though the CPU put it out, seems like a decent strategy choice for the start of the level. Might be a little bit more efficient than the other methods, but really, this is tiny amounts of improvement that aren't going to help us in real terms. Bit of meat shielding, and after that, it's Springtime Kenshin time. Let's get you out. Slow, possibly not. I'm going to keep the slow until I really need it. Upgrade the worker cat, I might really need it there. Probably not, but I got a bit panicky and scared there. And I'm going to bring out all my meat shields again. What we at? Level 4 worker cat. Is that going to cut it? It's really not going to cut it. We're in the shtuk just a little bit. Level 5 worker cat, that's probably equally not going to cut it. And we're probably equally sort of in the shtuk, not going to get anywhere for the whole of eternity. Ultraman the Ultraman is dead just as he tried to make an attack. Well, isn't that an unfamiliar scenario? Looks like we're absolutely stuffed once again. How many times have you seen this pause menu today? I mean, wow, this is quite something. Right, let's give it another go, because nothing's better than the definition of insanity. Ultraland, good, you got a shot off. Well, that's better than can be said for some runs. Next off, let's get some kind of angel knockback raka like my boy Springtime Kenshin. Did that work? No, not particularly. There was no angel knockbacking whatsoever. Can we get a little bit now, perhaps? Thank you, Ultraland. Well, at least you're participating a small bit in this. Next, let's get Cyberpunk. We briefly had enough monies for that by some miracle, and actually that might provide some kind of slightly better version of these runs. We're doing damage to that stuff back there, and there's a chance that we might actually be able to kill it. You know, the sort of thing that we actually need to do to progress in the battle. So we've got knockback, freeze, and slow, but with the amount of current enemies that are there, I'm not sure that that's going to be enough. When they get close, however, we can slow them. That's the one weapon I have. There's absolutely nothing I can do, no financial independence, because everything's going towards these meat shields. I just have to hope that we kill something. And at the moment, that dream is most certainly not alive. We got to 5,000 monies, but that's not enough for whatever we may need. Springtime Kenshin, I really need you to pull off something here. And we don't have enough monies for the more expensive units that we have left. Ultralan is dead, and that is just an obscene number of enemies. Everything's dead, and although that run was a little bit better, looks like we're once again screwed. And you know what? I'm bored of this. I'm going for a Twix.